Okay, you are now connected to Dustin with Realm of Gaming.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Hello? Hello, hello?
Hey, Dustin.
Oh, how's it going today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Have you had a lot of interviews today, or?
Yeah, I've had a few already. It's day after launch, so I totally expect it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do you have a few more to do yet?
I don't know. I am here at the beck and call of our PR team, and I feel pretty. It's a good time because after launch I'm pretty relaxed. So I'm happy to sit and talk about the work we've been doing for the last year or so, year and a half.
Oh, geez, nice. Okay, good stuff. Well, I guess we can jump into some of that then, huh? Actually, do you want to talk about you for a second? So I guess folks and readers will know a little more about you. And I read about you, well, yesterday and this morning, of course. You're a game designer, but you also do a lot of business stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what production is really about merging the business requirements with the design requirements, right? You have a finite budget and time to build a game, and there are things you really want to do and fit in that schedule. So, that's what production is really appealing to me, because you've got to manage the constraints of game of quality versus time, and this is the classic problem. So, I came from I was at Bungie previously working on Destiny and some of their mobile stuff for Destiny. I've worked on a number of games, some MMOs like EverQuest and Shadowbane. I was at Atari and I worked on Test Drive and Neverwinter Nights a little bit. So my first job in gaming was as a teenager. I was a beta tester for a company called Infocom.
Nice.
And Zork. I was a tester on a game called Planetfall and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Suspended, and they were fantastic.
Oh wow!
So I've been around for a little bit. So I've played lots of different games, and I have to say that Plants vs. Zombies is. Now it sounds like I'm shilling, but it is really one of my favorite games of all time. And when I came to PopCap, I told the folks that hired me, like, I want to work on PvZ too. This is the game I want to work on, and I got a chance to do it.
Nice, that's fantastic, man. Fantastic. Do you still do consulting for any of your companies that you've worked for previously?
Nah, not allowed to do that anymore. Even if I could, I wouldn't have the time. It's working on a game is full time now.
Nice, I believe it. All right, yeah, I watched the developer diary this morning too. I think I saw a quick cameo of you in there for just a moment. You're just like,
yeah, I was rushing off to do something probably.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was good. It was good. Oh man. All right, so thanks, man. That's excellent. That's excellent. So we have Plants vs. Zombies released yesterday at midnight, I assume.
I think we actually hit the live button at 9 p.m. Eastern the night before, just to make sure it got propagated to the App Store properly and it showed up properly. So we wanted to make sure it was up and out. But the official launch was yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And I looked it up too on the App Store. It already has 16,000 ratings, and it's been out
really?
Yeah.
Awesome. What are we at? Are we still at 4.5 stars?
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
So I couldn't believe it. I figured there'd be a few thousand on there, of course, because it's a really popular game. It just came out. It's free to play, of course. So all those are really appealing. You get a lot of people in, when it launches. But 16,000 is pretty impressive. So that was pretty cool. But so
awesome.
The game is free, and then we have like microtransactions, right?
Correct.
Within the game. So what kind of stuff can you get with microtransactions? Like new costumes, new plants? What kind of stuff can you get, I guess?
So there's a number of things you can do with money that you can also do by just playing the game, right? So the big thing that you can do with either money or stars is you unlock worlds. So you finish Egypt, and there's a Stargate that allows you to get to Pirate Seas. And I believe it takes 15 stars to unlock that gate. Or you can pay a small amount. I think it's $4.99 maybe. So either you can go back and play levels and earn stars, or you can pay some money. And the star challenges are all different, right? So some levels have 1 star, some have levels of 3 stars. And the 3 stars, each star is a different challenge. Like one may say, don't plant for 45 seconds. One challenge may be don't plant more than 15 plants. So you get to replay the levels with different constraints, which means different strategies, different plants. It really is lots of way to play the game. You can unlock side paths with keys, and the keys get dropped by zombies in the world, or you can pay some money to unlock the side paths. There are game upgrades you can get, like extra seed slot, start with 25 extra sun. Some of these are purchase only. Some of these can be unlocked just by going through some side paths. And the only thing I believe that you have to pay money for, if you want to, is some of the premium plants.
I see.
And I think jalapeno is one of them, snow peas another. But over more than 95% of the game, you can experience without ever paying a penny, right? We want people to feel like they want to pay to experience this stuff, not like they have to, not like we're stopping them from playing, or you've run out of energy, so you've got to wait or pay money. You never have to stop playing, right? And it fundamentally is a very different approach than some other people in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had talked to some other people about it, and they're actually complaining. This doesn't make any sense, but they were complaining that the game was free with the microtransactions, right? And I'm like, well,
yep.
You get to play a lot of the game, just like a lot of other MMOs that are free online. You can play, a lot of the game for free. And
hey, League of Legends and Dota are free, right? Look, I understand that. There's a lot of games that are free to play, but the player experiences them as pay to avoid frustration. And people don't like that, right? They and we want the game to feel like, hey, you can play this as much as you want, and if you really want to rush through, you can pay some money and get to the next world. But
yep.
There's also a really rich way. It's not frustrating. It's more gameplay. If you just play a little bit more, you can also get through some of this, right? So to people who I think have a negative reaction that maybe other games have brought on them from free to play, the simple thing we all say is just play the game. I understand you're worried about it. Play the game and let us know what you think, right?
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is we've seen articles that say like, oh my God, how is PopCap going to make money because we don't turn the screws on the player?
Yeah.
Play the game. There will be people who want to pay money, and people who will just want to experience everything for free. The players will ultimately be the judge.
Sure. Well, that also, like, personally for me, that makes me want to come back. Say there's a Plants vs. Zombies 3, or even the DLC, that kind of stuff that comes out, like the New Worlds,
yep.
right?
Yep.
That would make me actually want to. It makes me more, I would desire more to actually pay money if I don't have to, right? Than if.
Yep. That's exactly it, right? That PopCap, PopCap like Bungie or Blizzard or Valve, like they're a beloved company, and our games evoke a certain kind of expectation from the players, and we don't want to break that trust. And I know people, like I said, people are suspicious about free to play, but play the game, see what it's like. You'll see, right? It is really a different model than some of the other free to play games out there.
That's cool. Yeah, thank you for addressing that, man. That's because that's a minor concern for me. I usually just play a free game and just kind of check it out, but I have seen a lot of people that do. They do worry about that, and they do get, is this a game I should spend time on? If I'm just going to have to pay money later, all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yep. PopCap also pioneered a lot of that try before you buy stuff, right? There were the original versions of Bejeweled you could buy and play for I think it was 60 minutes or something like that. So,
sure.
I think our games are they speak for themselves. And what I really love seeing is that even on the boards and Reddit and things like that, there are a lot of defenders who are saying like, hey, I was skeptical, but now I played the game, and really, it's cool. You should just try it. Like, don't criticize it before you played it. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, how about enough of that? How about onto the actual game and how cool it is, right? Like, what are some of the? We have new worlds. We have instead of level by level, we have the world that you can explore, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
each level has different ways you can approach it via the different star challenges and stuff like that. What are some new features that were maybe tweaked from the first game?
I mean, from a technical standpoint, and I'm sure your audience, I don't know how interested they are, but I think the original PvZ was at all the character animations were 15 frames per second, and now the current one is double that. So the game just looks smoother, right? The characters move. You notice that the zombies have sort of a stumbling gait, right? They kind of like walk and halt, and it allows the game to be much more expressive character-wise. And so much of this game's beauty is its characters, right? The characters, the plants, the zombies, the art direction is fantastic, and that leads into the thing that I really love, and really what flipped the switch out of kind of a pre-production phase into full production was plant food, right? So the plant food, anyone who's played Mario and gets the mushroom or gets the flower power up, like they understand what this is plant food allows your plant to assume like I'd say superhuman, but super plant powers for a little time, and really express like a different side of the character, just like double-sized Mario or invisible Mario or invincible Mario, and like the walnut kind of almost does the Iron Man armored up thing, right? It gets covered in the steel plating of armor, and a sunflower will kind of erupt in a shower of suns, and the pea shooter sort of puts on a little army helmet and lets out a stream of peas and destroys almost every zombie by the time its stream is done. So I think it's super whimsical. I mean, that's the characters are express more of their little personalities through plant food. The second is a big favorite of mine. We argued about this internally. Was the world map, as each world is a you can view as almost like a Mario map. You have different nodes, different challenges. It really expresses a sense of place. Like that's the each world has its own theme, and it's not just a cosmetic theme. It actually impacts gameplay. So ancient Egypt with its pyramid things, the gravestones pop up, sandstorms happen. Pirate Seas, you've got the planks and water and swinging zombies and parrots that steal your plants. Cowboy, you've got the rails, like little mining carts on rails where you can plant a plant and then move it up and down on the board.
Nice.
So all these things are really spectacular kind of replayability exploration moments. And the last thing I think that we really did differently, which we love, is the power-ups, right? You have pinch, you've got zap, and you've got shove, flick. And because I think in a lot of ways PvZ1 came into its own on an iPad, on a touch device, we wanted to build stuff that was very specifically touch-centric. So you could reach onto the screen and pinch a zombie and its head pops off, right? You could when you use the zap feature, it's almost like a lightning spell in D&D or something. You where you place your finger, a little arc of electricity jumps out to the nearby zombies and electrocutes them. And flick is exactly how it sounds. So you flick the zombie and the zombie flies off the screen. So these are things that really, I think, make the game much more expressive and much more whimsical and fun and really expand on the core value, the core kind of premise of the original game, which we really love.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. So returning fans will find everything they loved in the first game and a whole lot more, so that you still have the kind of core gameplay experience that you're used to, but you have a lot of these cool extra things that you can experience as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's not just more of the same, right? A good sequel takes what you loved and builds on top of it without losing the thing that made the first game great. And that's always been our challenge, and I think we really the team did a great job.
Nice, very nice, very nice. Let's hear. We have. I'm aware the game just came out here, but do we have maybe a timetable for New Worlds, right? Because I'm sure someone has already beaten everything by now. Yeah, a really hardcore fan, right? Do we have any kind of idea when some new content might be coming out, that kind of thing, or?
I'm sorry, say that again. You dropped out for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. As far as like New Worlds, do we have like a ETA for that?
There's no announced ETA.
Okay.
It's known as ETA, but certainly it's on our roadmap.
Okay, excellent. I figured that might be a question, even though the game just came out. It still might be something someone might wonder, of course. All right. Are there any plans to release on perhaps Android or PC in the future?
We haven't announced any specific platforms, but certainly alternate other platforms are going to be supported, no question.
Okay, fantastic. That'll make a lot of people happy for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want fans to know about Plants vs. Zombies 2, other than it's actually pretty sweet?
Well, I look forward to everyone playing the game. I think we really what I think about the game is, and this is obviously it's biased, but I think that this will be the most finely crafted, lovingly made game on the App Store this year. Like I don't know if you played Last of Us. Did you play Last of Us on the PS3?
Not yet.
So, I mean, one of the things I really loved about that game, it's sort of, it's the other spectrum of hardcore zombie game. But that team really, you could tell that they loved that game, right? They poured everything into it. And I play our game and I see the same thing. I mean, there's some games that you see the team just loved, and I think it shows. And I think the players will see that.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I intend to playing the game and probably putting up a review on Realm of Gaming as well about it. Which, just from what I've seen so far, is probably going to be very positive. But thanks for your time today, Bernie. I really appreciate it, man. It was really cool to talk to you, and I guess hang out for a minute, right?
Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bernie.